I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to debate you. Just get it done. I don't give me, oh, geez, I don't want to do that. You know what? Just man up and get... I told you I'm not going to debate you. Just get it done. Or you're going to suffer the consequences. Alright? Get it. God. Useless henchman. He doesn't even know where Pancake's house is. God. I digress. Anyway, welcome to my newest review for the Fargo TV series. Now, I love the movie. I think it's great. I love the Coen brothers. I love their style. I love their dark humor and everything. And I found the show to be really well done. It's already gotten great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and everywhere I looked, there's only like a handful, maybe a little bit more, of people who didn't like it. And I haven't heard anything really negative about it. Like, I've heard, I didn't like this or that, but I've never heard, it's just terrible, it's horrible, it sucks. I haven't heard that yet. I'm sure there are people out there that think that, but so far it's getting great reviews. It's off to a really good start. One thing that I really like about it is it so captures the essence and style of the movie. You could be someone that's never ever heard that there was going to be a TV series. You could have watched the movie, and let's say you were out for a while, and you didn't get online, you didn't watch TV, and you come back to watch it, and you just happen to flip to this, and you start watching, this looks interesting. You're like, well, this is definitely Fargo, but it's not the movie. What I mean is, you could definitely tell just by watching, if you had never heard there was going to be a TV show, that it was Fargo. And of course, then you look and you find out it was a TV show for it. But the only thing I've heard, and my dad didn't like it so much because he said it was slow-paced, and it kind of is. But at the same time, the movie was actually really slow-paced. If you think about it, it delved more into the characters, what they went through in their minds, their struggles, their character personalities, and the show did that so well as well. So that's one thing that I really enjoyed about the show. It did the same stuff. Yes, it's not for everyone. It's not, action-packed, things don't happen at a rapid pace. But it was very faithful to the movie in that way. And then this will be a really quick review, actually, because I'm just getting first started in the first episode. But another thing they do so well is the characters are so well done. Martin Freeman is really becoming one of my favorite actors through Sherlock, through The Hobbit, and now this. And he really nails that. Oh heck, well, you just don't need to do that, oh heck, I don't like that kind of character. Very wimpy, very, downtrodden, doesn't stand up much for himself. Of course he does in this episode. He really starts to change, and that's when things go sour. And that's another thing that this show does really well, besides just the characters, is everything starts out as, well, the movie was less innocent. But this starts out as pretty much innocent things that aren't really going to hurt too many people. At least with, God, I said this fucking Martin Freeman, his character, Lester, that was his name. I knew I could remember if I thought about it, because, anyway, it starts out with very innocent, and everything gets pushed, and things start happening, that things get beyond control. And that's the same way the movie did. At first, it's just to get a car and get some ransom money and all this. Nothing bad's supposed to happen. Everything's supposed to turn out well in the end. People get killed. The cops get called in. and everything goes to hell. And while we didn't see this as much in the TV series, we saw the very beginnings of it. And you have to. You can't play all your cards in the first episode and be done with it. You definitely can't do that. But I found it to be really awesome the way, and again, like I said, it is slow paced, but I thought it was very well paced. You saw the build up in Lester's personality and being pushed so far and taking crap from everybody. He's really quiet. He's really taken aback. He lets too many people walk over him. But again, he plays that character so well. I won't say he's better than William H. Macy, or I think it's H. Macy, it might be M. Macy. Don't quote me on that. But, he still has that same kind of character with being his own character. It's not like, oh, he's just doing William Macy's character. That's all he's doing. He's good, but that's all he's doing the character. It's just a copy off. No, he has his own character. He has his own problems. And it really works out well. And the other leading role in it is Billy Bob Thornton. And Billy Bob Thornton, and I've said this when I'm talking to people about it, I've said it just when I'm reviewing it on Facebook, in a couple of sentences. Billy Bob Thornton is, well, he's Billy Bob Thornton. But for this show, it really, really works out. Because of that dark, sinister, not subtle attitude, that, very intimidating attitude, it works really well. Yes, it is just another Billy Bob Thornton role, but it works perfectly for what it is. And the two characters interact so well because they're so different from each other. Billy Bob Thornton is this tough, maybe gangster, I don't know. He's definitely involved in some kind of crime. Maybe just a hired hitman. It's not really clear yet. That's kind of what we're led to believe, but it's not 100% clear, and it may never be. But that's another thing the show does really well, and the movie did well too. But anyway, of course, Lester, he's, very taken aback, like I've said. He's weak-willed. Of course, he gets stronger in the end of the episode. But that was a great thing they did with this show. And one of the things, I should have probably mentioned this at the beginning, but another thing that they did really well with keeping the style is the opening is not the exact same thing. It keeps it looking just different enough to set it apart. But it's basically the same thing, You see cars coming in, you see a car coming in from, the far background. It kind of fades in, and it's playing that really awesome score that it plays in the very beginning of the original movie. And another scene when, and of course spoilers here, when after Billy Bob Thornton's character crashes, which gets him stuck in the town again, something that he wasn't planning on doing, things just get worse and worse and lead to worse things. So, he crashes and the guy runs off and he shoots him. He doesn't shoot him. My bad. But that seems same, it's very strikingly similar to the movie. And as far as scene for scenes go, that's where it stops. Again, the characters are acting, the settings are very accurate, they're very well done according to the, the similarity of the movie. But this really helps you bring you into the world to just enough point to okay, this is like Fargo, you get it, but the rest of it is definitely not going to be scene for scene. And let's see, let's talk about the story a little bit. Lester, he's very, what is it, Billy Bob Thornton's character, I gotta remember his name, crashes in the town, and he's taken to the hospital because of it. And Lester, who's very weak-willed, like I've said a billion times this episode, he gets in a fight with the bully, and the bully is the only person that really does not fit well, but it works well, because it does bring something different to the show. He's a bully, but he's still kind of a Fargo bully. And what I mean by that is he has an intimidating presence within the town. But I can guarantee you that if he went into any other town and started mouthing off, he'd get his ass beat so quickly. Because, of course, Billy Bob Thornton's character, awesome. And it's really done well. It really reflects the way of the movie. Oh, one thing I forgot, I can't believe I forgot this, was... This is another thing that the Coen brothers do so well with the really dark sense of humor. And of course, being it says this is a true story, which is all bullshit. It didn't happen. None of that happened ever. And I'm sure there have been murders and crimes in that area. But none of this ever really happened. And it's so funny how they do that, because they're totally trying to lead you into believe in some ways that it is, but it's all bogus. But it doesn't feel like you've been cheated or you've been lied to. That's another thing they do really well. But, the bully is picking on Lester, and he pretends to hit him, and Lester turns around and hits some glass, falls over, and he ends up in the hospital, which is where the two characters meet. And the rest of it is just the characters' dialogue, talking, and showing how Lester is getting built up, showing, the somewhat dark side of Billy Bob Thornton's character. I really like the exchange between him and the cop that pulled him over. The cop definitely knew this guy's trouble. I don't want a part of it, because if I get a part of it, I'll get killed, and I'll never see my daughter again. She'll never see me. It's going to lead to problems. So he just backs off and lets him go. That's later in the episode, of course. But when these two worlds collide, it really gets really mixed up, and everything goes to shit. But like I said, the rest of it is a lot of just character development and dialogue, and this is something the Coen brothers do really well. You have to be into that style to enjoy it, but if you are, I think you'll really enjoy it. Now, so eventually, he gets pushed to his breaking point because he's trying to fix the dryer that's, it's rumbling and making noise. Not the washing machine, it rumbles, making noise. It won't stay still. He's trying to fix it. He makes it worse, and his wife goes off saying he's not a man. I shouldn't have married you. My mom was right. And he picks up a hammer. He's like, I can't do it near as well as he does. But again, his attitude, just the way he presents himself, not just the way he says stuff, but his actions, and what is the phrase I'm looking, his demeanor, and just it's kind of twitches and stuff, just very Martin Freeman. But at the same time, the casting is great because it works so well for Fargo. And he kills her, and the one cop comes in, and another scene that's really, actually no, this wasn't, the first two scenes were the end of the scenes that really reflected, and almost scene for scene from Fargo. When the two cops are investigating the body, the car crash that leads them to the body of the guy that was in Billy Bob Thornton's trunk. It's very reminiscent. You could almost see Francis McDormand and I don't know the actor's name of the other cop that was in there. He wasn't a main character. He was just kind of there for the add another character and comic relief and stuff. And it's an interaction between those two, and it works. But again, it sets off as it's like, this is Fargo. This is how it is. It's very reminiscent, but was setting itself off. So, this leads, of course, to, all leads to Lester being somewhat suspected. Not really suspected, but the main cop, like the chief, goes to the house of, Lester's house, finds the body, Billy Bob Thornton kills him, and this is when shit really starts to get intense. And I found it to leave it off really well, to where now, the rest of the series, and what we're going to see from now on, is really going to be great. So overall, I loved it. Extremely well acted, extremely well cast, does so well in keeping to the style of Fargo with doing its own thing, with the movie, with doing its own thing. So looking forward to the rest of the episode, so looking forward to the rest of the season. So, Bates Motel is tomorrow night, and then another Fargo Tuesday night. I'm super excited. Until next time, peace out.